Hello team and welcome back to the channel. So before starting the video, as you can see, we are very close to 10,000 subscribers, which is a very big milestone for me. So I would request you, please subscribe to the channel so that you can support us. It does not cost anything, but it definitely supports me as well as motivates me to make more such hands-on videos for my viewers. Okay. Now coming straight to the point, so today is day 7 of our real-time CI/CD pipelines, and today we are going to build and deploy another application. So let me give you a little bit information about the application. So this application is a fully fledged application, okay, basically full stack. This application is having a backend, a front end, as well as a database. Okay, so basically on this application you can register yourself, and whatever information you provide, that information will be going into the database that this application is connected to. Okay, so yes, that means like this application is completely full stack, and this is one of the really nice application which you can practice your DevOps on. Okay, also one more thing team, like we are doing similar kind of things, building and deploying applications, but I am focusing on providing you with different kind of applications based on different programming languages. Even this is based on a different programming language, Conjure or something it is written as. Okay, so yeah, so my whole point is that you are getting like directly without an issue completely working applications which you can practice your DevOps on. Okay, that is my whole point, so that more you practice, more you will understand the flow, and at some point you will be so smart with like DevOps that you'll be able to build any kind of application using DevOps tools and technology. Okay, and that is what I'm trying to teach you. So yeah, make sure to watch this video till end so that you don't miss any steps, as well as you understand completely the flow, how you can build and deploy applications using Jenkins or any other CI/CD tool which we use. Okay. One more thing, in case you are having any issues, queries or doubt, or if you need any kind of guidance, you can ping me directly on Telegram or Instagram. I'm available on both the places. Both the social media links will be in the description. You can just connect me directly there. Okay, as of now several people are like pinging me, and as per my availability I make sure to reply them. Okay, yeah, so with that being said, let's get started, and don't forget to subscribe. So yeah, let's get started. Okay team, so yeah, one more time I'm saying, if you are having any queries, doubt or issues, just ping me on Telegram or Instagram. I'm available. If it's feasible, then definitely I will reply you. Even if you are having any silly doubts, you can just ping me. Okay, now coming to today's topic. So as of now, like we have built and deployed application like Java based application, Python based application, .NET based application, and even Node.js based application. Okay, so now we are going to build and deploy a different language based application which is known as Clojure. Okay, Clojure programming language, it is similar to Java. Even like we can use Java libraries for its own building of application. Okay, so yeah, so I have this application web shop app which I'm going to show you how to build and deploy. Okay, so before anything, let me show you the Docker file. Okay, you can see Docker file is having two sections. One where we are executing Clojure commands. Second, we are executing jar commands. Okay, so eventually like application is, as I said, it's made up of Clojure, but Clojure is similar to Java. Okay, so how do we build it? So first of all, I have set up Jenkins. In case you want to know how to set up Jenkins and all, I have a separate video which I will put in the description, which you can follow. Okay, so first like before anything, we need to set up certain things. Okay, so we will go to manage Jenkins. See, this Jenkins that I have set up, I have not done anything as of now in it. Okay, it's just set up, and now I'm just getting started with like installing plugins and all those things. Okay, so first we will go to manage Jenkins, then plugins. Here we will install certain plugins. For example, first plugin that I want to install will be for JDK. So in case you want to use different multiple versions of JDK, you can install this tool, this plugin, and this will help you get open source version of, or like basically you can say headless version of different JDK. Okay, which I will show you in a minute. Next tool that I want to install is SonarQube. So SonarQube, why do I need it? Because I want to perform like SonarQube scanning on the like Clojure based application. Okay, these two tools, and then I'll be installing Docker, since we are going to create Docker images. So for that we'll be needing Docker. In addition to Docker, two more plugins I'll install: Docker pipeline and Docker build step. Okay, and I guess this much will be fine. Yeah, so let's click on install, and if I scroll down, you can see the progress, like these plugins are getting installed now. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to tell you, like as you have seen, like in previous videos, we were doing the OWASP dependency check scan on our source code. Okay, so I just wanted to check if it supports closure application or not. So I just open the first link from here and I found this page. Okay, if I scroll down or if I simply search, so I was able to find this CLJ Homes, okay, which is open source. So we are going to use this tool for scanning of our source code. Okay, so basically if you click here, it will take you to this repository. Scroll down and you will find the steps using which first of all you can set up this tool on your machine, and then we have the commands to execute or like scan a project. Okay, so quickly what I will do, first I will execute this command so that we can install this tool. Okay, just paste it here, and meanwhile just copy the second command. Even this tool is very new to me, like I am using it for the first time, but since the steps are already available for its usage, so I will just use it. Okay, because as I told you, my main point of like working with a DevOps thing is that we need to follow best practices as well as take security measures to make sure that our project build and deployment process as well as the like whole pipeline is secure. For that reason I try to use different security tools. So, okay, so I guess that tool is installed now. Okay, now coming back to Jenkins, and here also whatever plugins we choose, they are also installed. Okay, so what we can do, we can create our job. So let's provide the name as web shop pipeline and click OK. Okay, so we have created the first job and we need to configure or write the pipeline script for it. Okay, so as a part of best practice, I like to keep only 2 builds in my history. So I can just in the section max number of builds to keep, I will just put 2. This thing I do just to save some space. Okay, and yeah, you can see as of now pipeline script is empty. So I always take a template which is from hello world and then I create copies of it to write the steps. Okay, how do I do that? Let me make it a little big. Yeah, so I copied this stage. Okay, and I will paste it here. Multiple stages I will just copy and paste. So in that way what happens that like we can easily edit it and create our stages. Okay, so first stage that I want to have is git checkout. That the purpose of git checkout stage is to create a local copy or clone the repository in your Jenkins workspace. Okay, so in case you don't know like how to write the commands, see, very easily I'm telling you. First you generate a hello world, then copy this thing stage. Two braces are there, until 2 braces I copied, then created multiple times I just copied. Okay, and these are like 4 stages as of now. Okay, so now I will edit and make changes. Okay, so first stage, as I said, we need to have git checkout. In case you don't know how to write the step for it, you can just click on this pipeline syntax, open it in new page, and here in sample step click on git, and here you need to provide the repository URLs. So for me it will be this branch. Let us check, branch is master, and yeah, branch is master. So yeah, here it will be same, and also like my repository is public, so no credential is needed. Okay, rest polling and changelog we will just leave it as it is. Click OK, and yeah, this is the script that we will be using. So I will just copy that script and paste it here, and this is how easy you can write the steps. Okay, so first step is complete. Next step which I want to perform is scan the project. Okay, so which tool we are using? CLJ-Homes, right? This is the tool that we just installed. From where? From this page, right? This is the official page for this tool which will be used for installation. Okay, now let us see how do we scan. So first of all, you can see first of all we need to fetch the rules. Okay, so I will just write this command, copy this command. This command will fetch the rules that will be used for scanning. Okay, and this is like we are running commands in Linux, so basically we are running shell commands. How do we run that? We will enclose the commands in this format, sh for shell, double quotes, paste the command. Okay, so this command will CLJ-Homes fetch rules. It will fetch the rules, Second command which I want to execute is the command that I need for scanning. Okay, so how do I scan? If I, you can see the example. Okay, if I copy this and scroll down, this is the exact example which we can use. So what I'm going to do is copy it till here, and after -p you need to give the path you want to scan. So I will write this, and instead of path I will just put a // that means root directory. Okay, that I want to scan. So this is done. cj homes -scan. Okay, next stage which I want to do is like try to find out if there are any vulnerabilities, bugs or code smell in my source code. So for that we have SonarQube. So I will write SonarQube. Okay, now we have written SonarQube, right? So we need to create SonarQube server and configure the stage here. So what I will do, I will open Jenkins in new page. Let me go here, go to manage Jenkins. Now you remember like several plugins we installed in the beginning of the video. So when you install certain plugins, you can configure them by going into this section, tools. Okay, basically previously in older versions of Jenkins, this was known as global tool configuration, this was known as configure system. So this section, tools or / global tool configuration, it is used for configuring any kind of tools that you install in your Jenkins. And configure system or like system, this section is used for configuring servers, which I will show you why I say that. Okay, also the reason that names you are seeing here system and tools, because I'm using Jenkins version 4.2.414.1, which is one of the latest version. Okay, in older version you will see here global tool configuration, and here you will see configure system. Got it? Now let's go inside tools. Here first of all we will configure JDK. Okay, so first of all let's provide a name as, I want to use JDK 17. So I will write JDK 17, and instead of like giving Java home here, you can just click on install automatically, and the plugin that we installed, Eclipse Tmedian installer, because of that this option is coming. Now if you select it, then you can select whichever version you want to use, and you can see how easy it is. Okay, so JDK 17 I have selected and I have just set it up. Okay, then we have git installation, nothing to do here. Then SonarQube scanner installation. So here we will just provide a name as sonar-scanner, and version we will just leave it as it is. Okay, then we have Maven. I'm not sure if Maven is going to be used, but just for namesake I will just configure name as Maven 3 and version as Maven 3.6.0. Then we have Docker installation, so Docker name we can provide, and install automatically, download for docker.com, and latest version I want to use. Okay, so the tools, whatever tools we need to use, we have configured them. Okay, now as we were writing SonarQube stage, so as of now, like you see, we don't have a SonarQube server. So what I'm going to do is create a SonarQube server using Docker container. Okay, and Docker container is going to be set up on the same server where my Jenkins is running. You can even set it up on different VM. Okay, it's fine, but for me I don't want to create a separate VM for this because I'm just doing a test thing. So I will be just creating this SonarQube server here. How do we do that? Okay, so we can run the command as to create a container. We can run the command as docker run -d. -d means detached mode, means we are running the container in background. Okay, -d. Then let's provide a name to container, which will be sonar, and then port means where exactly our container will be running. So here we need to give two ports. Okay, host port and container port. Host port is the port on which we will access the application, this server, and container port is the port which will be open inside the container. Okay, so I want, by default, this SonarQube port is 9000. First port is host port, second port is container port. They can be same also, they can be different also. Okay, but here we are just going with this. Okay, then we need to provide a Docker image name. So since I have used too many times, so it's in my mind, SonarQube, then colon. So after colon you need to provide a tag means which specific version you want to use. For me, I always go with LTS community version, which is open source and completely free. Okay, LTS means long-term support. That means this SonarQube is kind of stable and has a proper support, that sort of thing. Okay, click enter and you can see it is unable to find the image locally, so it will pull it from Docker Hub repository, and within few seconds the SonarQube server will be up and running. Okay, So let's see, some specific code will be coming here. That means our SonarQube server is set up. Okay, now just to check, I can run the command as docker ps, and you can see SonarQube server is up and running. Okay, how do we access SonarQube server? We can copy the IP address of our VM where we have like set up. IP address colon port we have given 9000, click enter, and here you can see SonarQube is starting. Okay, so by default, when you are doing it for the first time, the default username and password for SonarQube, it is admin. Okay, but you need to change it on the first login only. So let's wait for a few minutes and then we will start it. Okay, meanwhile what I can do, okay, meanwhile we can try to like execute these things and let's see what happens. Let me save this and build now. Let's see if some error comes or what happens. So git checkout, I guess it will work fine. Okay, now here like the scanning is done. Okay, and whatever scan it did, whatever things it did. So as of now, whatever stages we had, they are success, so it's fine. And here SonarQube also started. So as I said, by default password and username and password will be admin. Once you put it, it will ask you to reset it. Old password was admin, new password is, I will just put my name as Aditya. Okay, and update. So SonarQube is set up. Now what we need to do is basically we need to configure SonarQube server within Jenkins. Okay, how do we do that? So first of all, like, you know, any website or anywhere you want to log in, what things do you need? The URL of that website and a username, password, or credential or token, right? So in SonarQube we have a feature of tokens. So we will be using those tokens as credentials and then we will log into it. Okay, let me show you how do we do that. So in Jenkins, you need to go to manage Jenkins, then go to system. As I told, system section is the place where you configure servers, right? Since we have installed that SonarQube scanner tool, so we will be seeing one option right about here. You can see SonarQube server, SonarQube installations. Okay, so here we need to like provide the name, the server URL, and a token, authentication token. Okay, so let me generate the token here. We can go to SonarQube server, administration, security, users, and here you can see this option tokens, right? Click on it. Let's provide a name as like simple, anything you can provide. Token expires in, you can set it up whatever you want. Generate, and we have this token. This token will be added as credentials, and using this we will be setting up our server. Okay, so we have copied the token, right? But we have not added the token inside Jenkins. So for that we can again go to manage Jenkins, leave the changes, and here you see this option credentials. Click on it. This is the section where you add username, password. So I will click on add credentials and username with password. Since we have a tokens, which is a single, like a single thing, so we'll use secret text and we'll paste the token here. Let's provide a name as sonar-cred. Same thing we will paste in description so that if anyone else sees, they know that this is the token for SonarQube. Okay, now we have configured our SonarQube credentials. Again, go to manage Jenkins, system, and this time we can configure the SonarQube server. So where is it? Yeah, SonarQube server. Let's provide the name as Sonar. Server URL. So URL I will be taking till 9000. Copy that and paste it here. Make sure to remove the last slash, because if you don't, then it will cause problems in certain section. Okay, token is available now, right? Click on apply. Now SonarQube server step we have added. So what I'm going to do now is click on configure. Let me close this section, and we need to write commands for SonarQube server. Okay, so before like adding SonarQube, like we will be using SonarQube scanner, which we have installed using plugins, right? So to use that scanner, we need to create an environment to basically define inside our pipeline. How do we do that? We'll create environment curly braces, then scanner home, just taking a variable. Okay, and its value will be tool name of the SonarQube scanner which we configured. Let me show you in a minute. So in case you are thinking this tool from where this name is coming, so basically if I open it in a new tab, go to manage Jenkins, go to tools, scroll down, here you can see SonarQube installations. So this is the name we have configured for our SonarQube scanner. Same thing I'm defining here. Basically we need to define SonarQube so that we can use it in our pipelines afterward. Okay, now we have already defined it, so we need to basically like execute, like call it here. Okay, so for commands, in case you don't know like the commands for SonarQube server, you can just use the pipeline syntax, and here we should be able to find with SonarQube environment or something. With SonarQube environment, right? So just generate, copy this whole thing, paste it here. Let me remove this block. Okay, now one thing that you need to remember, here we are adding credential ID, but we don't need it because we have already configured SonarQube server. Okay, so instead of credential ID we can put double quotes name of the server that we configured. Okay, and now we can write the steps to execute SonarQube scan. So we might be having multi-line code, so in case of multi-line code you can use 3 single quotes. Okay, now let's call SonarQube environment, which we SonarQube scanner, which we created the environment here, right? How do we do that? This variable name which we created, and for a tool like its executable file exists inside bin folder. Okay, and its name will be, in case in here name will be sonar-scanner. This is done. Now we need to add few arguments like sonar and sonar dot project key equal to, here you can put any name. For me it will be web shop only, and let's say I have a new line command, so I will just put slash, and from next line I can write the rest of the commands. sonar dot project name equal to, same thing I will put now also, web shop. Okay, so usually only these two things will be needed, because in case of Java we provide java.binaries also, binaries location. So here let's try to run it without giving that. Okay, and let's see what happens, because as I said, with Clojure kind of this language I have never worked. This is the first time I'm doing it, so just seeing everything for the first time. So yeah, some error is there. Let's see what happens. You can see class version 61, and okay, so we are by default, like before installing Jenkins we set up like Maven. Okay, so by default the version of Jenkins that is being version of Java that is being used is 11. So I want to use JDK 8.17, which I have already shown you how to configure. So let me show you how to add it. So we can add, or basically define in our pipeline using this format: tools, curly braces, then type of the tool, which is JDK, and then single quotes name of the tool, which we configured as JDK 17, right? Now this is configured. Now we have defined two tools, SonarQube scanner and JDK 17. Okay, so let's try to execute it now, and let's see what happens. Now since we are like using it for the first time, so it will just like unpack it and install it on Jenkins. So let us see. This might take just few seconds, so let's hold on. Yeah, and you can see SonarQube scanner is getting executed now. Okay, and one more thing which I want to see. So it was able to find like some CSS based files, some YAML based files. So there it is, these quality profiles are being used. And yeah, so analysis successful. If I go to SonarQube, and you can see analysis is successful, but yeah, 2 security hotspots it just found, nothing else. So let it be, we just like completed the SonarQube task. Okay, next step what we need to do is perform the creation of Docker images basically. Okay, so if I go to the file itself, the repository, let me show you certain things. Okay, if I open YAML file as well as the Docker file, so inside Docker file we have two set of basically two sections. Okay, one is for like closure and one is for Java based, and both we are executing. Okay, now if I go to Docker Compose, then here we can understand where exactly our like application will be getting deployed. Okay, this is the Docker Compose file, and two services we are creating. First is database for the like storing the data of like users, and a new registration come, data will be stored inside Postgres database. Okay, second we are using CLJ service for creating for using the creating the backend and front end. Okay, so if I execute this Docker Compose file, then it will by default like build as well as deploy the application, because for building part you can see here we are building the Docker image. Okay, and when I say building the Docker image, so here itself you can see we are building building our application and creating the jar, copying the jar inside here. Okay, and yeah, so what I'm going to do is execute Docker Compose commands so that it can build the application as well as deploy it. So click on configure, scroll down, and here let's provide the name as build and deploy. Okay, so build and deploy. Now we need to run Docker commands. Okay, so I can run in this format: sh, then docker -compose up -d to run in detached mode, so that we don't have like so many logs coming on the front. Okay, so I will click on apply, build now, and let us see the status. Scanning is done, and SonarQube analysis is running now, and Docker Compose up. Okay, now it will first create the database using Postgres, and you can see the version it is using is 12. Okay, now it is building the database service. So let's wait for a few seconds. And yeah, meanwhile, if you are new on the channel, make sure to subscribe. See, the whole purpose of this series, like this real-time CI/CD pipeline series, is to make you understand how different kind of applications can be built and deployed. That is why like I'm taking different programming languages based application. Even this closure, I have never even worked with it. Okay, but I know if I see the application, if I see okay there is Docker file as well as there is a Docker Compose file, so I know okay I can build it easily with it. Okay, so yeah, you can see it started to like create the Docker image. Okay, see this command is used for running the jar of the closure. Okay, and yeah, it is just downloading and retrieving its own like dependencies as well as the libraries required for this application to be built. So let's wait, let's see how much time does it take. But yeah, see, basically it's that easy to build and deploy applications. And on the base level, if I tell you like any application can be converted in through a Docker file, and if we have the Docker file, if the application can be like can be converted and created inside created into a Docker image, then we can easily deploy it to our Kubernetes cluster even. Okay, maybe in next video I will try to show you how you can deploy applications full stack, basically full stack applications on Kubernetes servers. Okay, that will be really helpful. But see, let's see it's downloading lots of dependencies, jar files and all. So let's just wait for a few seconds. I guess it's almost completed. Yeah, I guess we have the jar file that we can use for deploying the application, right? Okay. Yeah, so for the closure part it is done. Now we are building for the what was that, building for the jar file. Okay, jar actually, sorry, Java. So yeah, it is success. Now you can see even SonarQube quality gate is success. Now to access the application, in case we are not aware, okay, where exactly we need to check, you can see here port 8080. Okay, this is the port on which our application will be running. So to confirm the same thing, if I copy this, go here, paste it here. Sorry about that. Let me put the port also on which it is running. 8080, click enter, and yeah, you can see this is the application. So if you want to like purchase this file, you can just click on plus, it will refresh the page, and in checkout section you can see one item has been added. If I click here for default find whatever it is, refresh, checkout 2 items, and if I go to checkout, you can see these 2 items are there, right? If you want to remove, you can click on delete. Okay, and if you just remove everything, then it's like just a cat. So we can click on buy more, and yeah, we are back here again. So we can again click on plus item goes to checkout, and so. So I hope like this is, you can see, full stack application. And yeah, so whatever like data we are like selecting, it's going into database. Okay, that's why we have the database here actually. Okay, so yeah, that was the application, and thanks for watching. So have a nice day. Okay, 1 second, it's still loading. Yeah, okay, no issues. Okay guys, so yeah, that was the application, and I hope also like consider it a task for yourself, or what, just practice this. Okay, I have already shown you how to run everything, so just practice this on your own like Jenkins server, and like it's just consider this, okay, new language also, you just learn how to build and deploy closure based application, right? So yeah, thanks for watching and have a nice day.